With an army of fans and spectacular late charges, the game of golf owes much of its popularity to this man, the legendary Arnold Palmer. Once again, the four-time Masters champion returns to Augusta, this time not just to make yet another start in the Masters, but to help the city known as the golf capital of the world begin a dream years in the making, the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame and Garden Attraction Center. Channel 12 brings it to you live. A salute to Arnold Palmer. Hello and good morning. We are live at 10th and Riverwatch, downtown Augusta, Georgia. Paul Davis, along with Ted Alexander. It is a very special Tuesday morning. Ted, it's a special morning for a couple of reasons. First off, it's the unveiling of the first of the Grade 8, the Arnold Palmer statue, and of course the turning of the first spade of soil for the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame. Let's go live now to Ted Sprague, the Executive Director of the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame.
He is the Chairman of the Board of the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame and has spent endless hours making the project what it is today. I'd like to introduce to you Sam Nicholson.
Thank you very much, Ted. This is a great day for the city of Augusta and Richmond County. It's a great day for the state of Georgia. It's a great day for golf throughout the world. The Georgia Golf Hall of Fame began as an idea 14 years ago. Then in 1982, the Georgia General Assembly created the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame and its board of directors. Since that time, we have honored approximately 40 great Georgians who have made outstanding achievements and contributions to the game of golf. Now, we are gathered here today to celebrate the kickoff for our ultimate dream, the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame Golf and Gardens attraction, which will be the feature attraction for the downtown riverfront Augusta. The fruits of the labor of many different individuals is now being realized by the unveiling of the likeness of golf's greatest ambassador, Arnold Palmer. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame, I thank each and every one of you for being here today to honor a true legend. At this time, I would like to recognize the other members of the board who are here today and ask them to stand as their names are called. Andy Bargeron, David Boyd, Dr. John Reynolds, Mark Darnell, Ham Stockton, Wendell Couch, Billy Key, and Lee Burton. Is anyone I missed that's here that I didn't know that was going to be here? Thank y'all very much. These fellows do a great job, and they serve voluntarily from all over the state of Georgia. I also want to recognize and give a special thanks to Mayor Larry Sconyers, who is here today to give a proclamation to our distinguished honoree, and also recognize the other members of the Augusta-Richmond County Commission Council. They are Alma Bridges, if you gentlemen please stand, Jerry Brigham, J.B. Powell, Lee Beard, Freddie Handy, Henry Brigham, and I believe that covers it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all's help. I also want to recognize the members of our local legislative delegation who are present here today, who were very, very instrumental. And without them, the funding for the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame would not have been possible. They are State Senator Charles Walker, Representative Jack Connell. Thank you, gentlemen. I also want to this time to just say a special thanks to former Mayor Charles Devaney and the former members of the Augusta City Council, and also the former members of the Richmond County Board of Commissioners, who were all responsible for placing the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame on the list of recipients to the local option sales tax money, which we will benefit in the amount of $6 million for this overall project. And we thank all of them for providing that service for us. Ladies and gentlemen, the board of the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame is committed to making the Golf and Gardens attraction a first-class facility, one that will make the people of Augusta and the people of the state of Georgia proud, and one that will become one of the greatest tourist attractions in our entire nation, worthy to be the home of the statues of the greatest names in golf, such as our legendary honoree today, Arnold Palmer. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our project took some ideas from Epcot, the excellence of Epcot, the beauty of Bouchard Gardens in British Victoria, Columbia, and that's our project in the future. And when you have a chance, you might take a look at the billboard over there. That is our ambition, and that's what you'll see in 1998 at Masters time. Until that time, though, we're starting with Arnold Palmer, his sculpture unveiling today, and then what we'll have is the Great Eight. And the Great Eight of golf legends of this world will be honored very soon along Riverwalk, as you see behind us. We'll have names like Gene Sarazen, Jack Nicklaus, Byron Nelson, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, and of course Bobby Jones, Gary Player, and others. Others will follow. Other greats of golf legend will follow. We already have commitments for 8 more sculptures. The next sculpture to be unveiled will be Ben Hogan this coming January. With that in mind, we'd like to tell you that we couldn't possibly do it without the help of a lot of friends and sponsors, and their names are listed also on the board over there. But one I'd like to introduce you today, who has been the leader. He stepped forward first, and he said, I would like to sponsor the first sculpture. I asked him, who would you like to sponsor? Guess who he said? Arnold Palmer. With that, I'd like to introduce to you Monty Osteen, the chairman of the board of Bankers First. Monty?
Thank you, Ted. And I'd like to extend my welcome to each and every one of you here today. Thank you for being here. Last night, as I was thinking about my words for today, I couldn't help but think it's my job to explain to you the pose. I chose the pose. That's the thing that t-shirts are made of. I chose the pose. If I do my job, you will understand why this pose was chosen. First, let me read the inscription that sits at the base of the sculpture. Arnie's charge. As he stepped up to the tee on number 10 on Sunday afternoon, Arnold Palmer's expression could not be mistaken. He wore his determination and concentration just as surely as he wore his smile a few holes back. Once you saw it, you would never forget it. Now it has been captured forever, for those who remember and for those not fortunate enough to have seen it for themselves. Arnold Palmer won the Masters Golf Tournament in 1958, in 1960, 1962, and 1964. The man whom many consider to be the most dynamic golfer of all time will grace Augusta perpetually. When you see the unveiling, you will ask the question, why? Why was this chosen? Why was this pose chosen? Let me give you some history and a little perspective. From 1958 to 1969, Arnold Palmer started the back 9 at Augusta National on Sunday afternoon in contention 10 times. He won 4 of those tournaments. He was second twice and third once. 8 times Arnold Palmer decided this tournament on the backside on Sunday afternoon at Augusta National. Let me give you a few examples. In 1958, he eagled 13 with a 3-wood to 18 inches on the backside. He won by 1 shot in 1958. In 1959, he bogeyed 13 and lost by 2 shots. In 1960, at 10, he was down by 1. He beat Ken Venturi by 1 shot. He had to birdie 17 and 18 to do that.
In 1961 at 10, he was tied with Gary Player. He lost by 1. He double bogeyed 18. In 1962, he birdied 2 of the last 3 holes to tie on Sunday, and he beat Gary Player in a playoff. He was 3 down on number 10 on Monday afternoon, and he won that tournament. And that's the first time the media used the term charge, the magnificent charge on the backside. And in 1964, he birdied 14, 15, and 18 to win by 6 shots. Those are just some examples of what Arnold Palmer faced as he stood on number 10 on Sunday afternoon. And that is what you will see in just a minute. Now, personally, I was there, and this is not like all those folks that saw Saracen do that great shot on 15. I was there, Mr. Palmer, in 1959 through 1965. I experienced firsthand the electricity in the air when Arnold Palmer stepped on the tee at number 10. And I want to tell you, that's when the Army was formed. Now, I must confess, Arnold, that I was kind of like the French Resistance. I would kind of parachute in and be there when you got there. And as a college student, I must confess that there was tremendous scenery at number 16, so I was not always there at 13, 14, and 15. But I'll tell you this, I could tell exactly what you were doing because I know what a birdie sounded like when Arnold Palmer made it. And goodness gracious, did I know what an eagle sounded like, and a par and a bogey. So you could tell exactly what Arnold Palmer was doing on Sunday afternoon by just listening to the crowd and feeling what was going on. Now, what did this mean to the game of golf? Well, I think it captured the imagination of the general public, this period, this decade of excitement that Arnold Palmer created for the first time, because golf was kind of something that was played at the country clubs until then. But Arnold Palmer introduced this game and this excitement and this legend to the country and the general public, and I think golf became adopted by this great nation. Arnold Palmer made the Masters tournament the world's most awesome tournament because of this excitement. He added the mystique, the legend, the folklore, the charisma, the excitement, the tradition, the magic, all of these things came about on Sunday afternoon. We used to say, some of us old-timers, that the tournament begins on Sunday afternoon when Arnold tees it up on number 10. As the shadows of the tall pines, and Arnold, those pines are taller today than they were then. This sculpture captures the intensity and the magic of Arnold Palmer as he teed off and looked down the fairway at number 10. This pose is Arnold Palmer after he had driven on number 10 on Sunday afternoon, looking down number 10 fairway with an intensity and a determination of what he had to do. The tournament begins on Sunday afternoon when Arnold Palmer tees off on number 10. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to choose a sculptor to do a job such as this, we went to Eve Manis Arts Advisory and asked for their help in finding the very best sculptor to do Arnold Palmer. And with that in mind, I'd like to introduce to you Zenos Ferdakis, who is the sculptor who's going to join Arnold Palmer as they walk up with Arnold Palmer, and we'll have a drum roll and the sculpture will be unveiled. Please, Arnie, would you come up with Monty and Zenos?
Hey!
you very much. Thank you, Monty. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is really quite an honor. I was just wondering if I was quite that heavy in the middle. But maybe he took the difference between now and then and incorporated the whole thing. But anyway, this is a great thrill, and of course it's great to be in Augusta, as it always is at this time of the year, and I am proud and flattered that this has happened today. I'm just pleased to be in Augusta, as all of you know, and of course there's only one thing that bothers me right now, and that is how am I going to step on to number 10 this year on Sunday? That worries me a little bit, but I'll think of something between now and then, and maybe I can be there. You know, I can think of Augusta, and I can think of all the things that have happened that have made the Masters what it is, and just to have been a part of it makes me very proud. I can recall when I was a student at Wake Forest, and I came here and peered through the fence and looked at the golfers there, and I thought, boy, I hope I can get there someday. And I can think of Dwight Eisenhower and what he meant to Augusta and to this nation. I can think of Cliff Roberts and Bob Jones and what they have meant to Augusta and to this golf tournament. And without them, certainly there wouldn't have been a golf tournament such as we know today. And again, to have been a part of that is just a great thrill. And I can think of some of the things that happened, like in 1958, the drama and the things that were going through my mind when I buried the ball at the 12th hole and had to wait on a ruling and got a favorable one. And I can remember in 1961 when I felt like I was going to break a jinx and win in an odd year, as I walked off the 18th tee and I saw an old friend on the sideline, and I walked over and I accepted congratulations from him, and then promptly made 6 and lost. And we know you don't do things like that. But Augusta, as Monty was saying, starts on Sunday afternoon, and anything can happen, and I guess that's why it's such a great golf tournament. It kind of tells you about the nation and what this nation stands for, and it's in a golf tournament. I am very proud to have been here and to have had the opportunity that I have had here in Augusta and at the Masters Golf Tournament. And I thank the members of Augusta, the committees who have put this program together today, and I think the Georgia Hall of Fame is something that everyone will enjoy in the years to come. And my fellow honorees, whether it be Hogan, Nelson, Snead, Player, Nicholas, and I could just go on and name them all, I think they will be proud to be a part of what you have created here. So to all of you, my fans who have supported me through the years, and you are really a lot of the reason that I'm still doing what I'm doing, I thank you very much.
Mayor of Augusta has a proclamation. Mayor Scanier.
On behalf of all the citizens of Augusta, Richmond County, it is indeed a pleasure for us today to declare this Arnold Palmer Day. He's brought so much to Augusta. It's a small thing that we can do for him. We would also like to do something extra for him. Since he already has all our hearts, we'd like to give him the key to our city.
Stand down here next to some pictures taken quickly.
Back now with you, Paul Davis and Ted Alexander, and like always, Ted Arney, very poetic, nice, easy listening kind of a guy to hear at the this morning.
Tuesday is his favorite day of the week here on Masters Week. Last year was Arnold Palmer Day on Tuesday, and today the dedication of the statue. What a beautiful statue it is. The pose. It was chose by Monty Osteen, for lack of a better phrase.
Zenos Frudakis is the official sculptor. He's based in Philadelphia. And Ted, we found out this morning, interesting tidbit, Palmer was not able, because of his busy schedule, to actually pose for Zenos, so he had to do his homework, didn't he?
He went to the dentist. You get the dental records. He had thousands of pictures up in his studio, and that's how he put together the vision for this statue, which is difficult, I would think, if you're a sculptor, to not have your subject right in front of you for the hours and hours it takes.
Again, keep in mind, it's the first of the grade 8. It won't stay here as the centerpiece right next to the Radisson Riverfront. Actually, it goes out on Riverwatch along with 7 other of the grade 8, and then eventually moved inside, Ted, to the Garden Attraction Center.
Come the spring of 1998, that is when the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame will open its doors, the $24 million project. It should be very interesting to see as the project moves on, and they're about to turn over the first shovels of dirt, Paul, as they get this groundbreaking underway.
$24 million project. A lot of great people had the vision years ago. As they make their way now here, it's do as you said in the spring of '98, just in time for the Masters. $6 million appropriated by way of a local sales tax. The state legislature earmarked $6 million. Local funds in kind, $6 million. So they're just about where they need to be, Ted. $6,000–7,000 shy of the $24 million that they need.
And they're thinking that this is, when you talk about the revitalization of downtown Augusta, this could be the landmark come spring of 1998 that will help bring folks back to downtown from all around the world, especially Masters Week and all year round.
Weather-wise, you can't tell it at home, but it's quite nippy this morning, and the wind is kicking up somewhat as well. But I think when Palmer stepped to the podium, we all warmed up.
Weather perhaps more conducive to British Open play is here in Masters Week, at least on this Tuesday. But we're glad to have Arnie here, and you can tell from his voice that he's glad to be here as well.
Arnold Palmer, winner of the Masters in 58, 60, 62, and 64. At 28 at one point, he was the youngest ever to win the Masters. Augusta knows and loves this man.
I don't think people realize, or maybe a generation doesn't realize, that in the 60s he was named by the Associated Press as the Athlete of the Decade. In 1960, he was the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. So Arnold's been making people smile for many, many years.
And this Golf Hall of Fame, the Garden Attraction Center, will be something that will give people a reason to come to Augusta in April, not just to be a part of the Masters, but they can also get in their cars and come on downtown as part of the revitalization that you talked about, Ted.
We've got gardens coming up in the spring of '98, and the canal for little boat rides you can take in there, and of course the interactive theater and that type of thing. And this is the ceremonial first shovel of dirt, if you will, for that particular
Nobody
project.
ever accused Arnold Palmer of having a big head. There's the, and here they go. Sam Nicholson's in there, Mr. Palmer, Mayor Sconyers, Sam Nicholson of the Hall of Fame. I guess that's the way you do it these days.
If they keep shoveling, it'll be done by the spring of '97.
Nice crowd gathered round the ceremonial turning of the soil for what's going to be just a wonderful attraction here, just a stone's throw away from the Savannah River.
You know, for a long time it was a vision of just a few to have a Georgia Golf Hall of Fame here in Augusta, but thanks to local leaders and Ted Sprague and Sam Nicholson and the area sponsors, they have been able to put this vision into reality. And you saw this first statue first, and hopefully we'll have Mr. Arnold Palmer come on over here.
Mr. Palmer's going to join us. Mr. Palmer, it's good to have you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know if we have a TV camera on you or not, but again, what a thrill. Not just because it's another Masters for you, but the unveiling of this great statue. I like the statue.
Oh, I like it too. But that's about the way I look now. I hope I didn't look like that a few years ago.
You didn't get a chance to pose for Zenos, so he went to your dentist, got some dental records. He also had pictures of you plastered across his studio.
Well, he was very meticulous about his work, and he's done a great job. And of course, my dentist is the guy that took all the pictures, so that's where he got that information.
Are you ever amazed at the way America and the world appreciates you and loves you?
Well, I suppose I am, yes, and I'm very proud of what has happened over the last 40 years, or 41 years now, here at Augusta, and of course the support that the people have given me through those years. I think that it's something that has kept me going in the game of golf, probably longer than maybe I should or ever thought I would. But the fans and the support that they've given me has been very encouraging and something that I appreciate.
Arnold, you've always been at ease with the fans, always been very gracious with the fans. When you started your career, did you realize the responsibility to the fans and make a point of being one with them?
Well, I think that all came from my father, who was a pretty tough guy. He was raised at a country club, and he worked there all his life, started out that way. And one of the things that he taught me was just to treat other people like you would like to be treated and put yourself in their position all the time. And thank goodness I remembered that. And it's been very encouraging and helpful for me all those years.
The weather's a little bit more like Latrobe today than Augusta, Georgia.
Well, it is that, but it'll warm up.
Last question. What would Arnold Palmer had done in life had he not been a golfer?
Well, I could have followed in my father's footsteps, been a golf course superintendent or a golf pro at a club. I suppose the only other thing that I might have done was been a pilot, been an airline pilot. I would have enjoyed that.
I think you chose the right vocation, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I have enjoyed it.
Arnold Palmer, a round of applause. Thanks, sir.
Gracious as always when it comes to speaking with those. The fans, of course, all gathered around us closely, and you can tell, again, he's moved by this particular presentation today.
Teddy is a neat man, isn't he?
Oh, no doubt about it. Western PA, we've both visited there and lived there for certain stretches during our lives, and he's got that down-home feeling that you get when you grow up in a town like Latrobe, PA.
I'm not quite sure what we should do now, buddy. We are in a sea of people down here at Riverwatch, 10th Street. Hopefully you've been able at home to take in the broadcast this morning and enjoy it. It's been chilly, it's been nippy, but again, it's been a warm feeling.
Oh, no doubt about that. And, with having all these people gathered around, it does warm things up quite a bit, doesn't it?
We've been able to talk to people, and Estelle, our producer for this broadcast this morning, if you would, why don't we go ahead now and let the folks at home hear the comments from the people yesterday, both golfers and fans, their thoughts on Mr. Arnold Palmer.
Tearful farewells at Oakmont, St. Andrews, not Augusta, right? Never.
That thing last year. 108. Did you run it? Oh, on last year? I don't think so. Take it to the bottom of the up. Stand by. Stand by. Arnold Palmer's thoughts from people such as Tom Watson, etc.
It was easy. It's easy. You can walk up to anybody and say, talk to me about Arnold Palmer, and they'll remember a time in their life when they just tuned into golf, and they remember him winning another Masters. I remember as a kid, I don't think that I was a golf kind of a kid. I liked baseball. I was a Baltimore Oriole fan, a Baltimore Cove fan. But when you said to me golf, I knew Arnold Palmer's name.
Well, the sounds behind us, the Highland Pipes and Drums out of North Carolina, a Scottish bagpipe band. Of course, Scotland, the birthplace of golf. It's fitting that when one of the golf's greatest legends is honored, we hear the sounds of the bagpipes behind us.
Arnold Palmer in his career, and it's not over yet, but he's won 92 golf championships, golf tournaments, and that is something that you can look at and say, wow, that's a lot of great effort, a lot of work. Can you imagine, Ted, you're a golfer, all the sand track practice shots and the tee, practicing your tee shots and the putting.
Oh, you spend hours into the darkness, perhaps on his in his backyard in Latrobe or at his dad's golf course. spending hours and hours hitting bucket upon bucket of balls just to perfect that game, knowing that one day down the road, perhaps years down the road, it would pay dividends, and certainly for Arnie it has.
You heard earlier in the broadcast, Ben Hogan is the next sculptor to be commissioned, already has been commissioned. Georgia Power has said they'll pay the $82,000 price tag to have that thing put into motion.
And we want to obviously salute and thank the gang from Bankers First who commissioned the Arnold Palmer statue, the very first one. But local businesses have really stepped up and come forward to put up the money for these rather expensive statues. But there's memories to be made with these statues, and they'll be here in Augusta for a long, long time.
And then next on the list for the sculptures in the grade 8 is Gene Sarrazin, and the great folks at Smile Gas have said they'll, in fact, get that one in motion as well.
All this is... It's fascinating just to have the bagpipes behind us and Arnold Palmer just talking to us about...
They're pretty good.
They're pretty dark. You haven't played a bagpipe? No. You haven't lived until you played a bagpipe, folks. But believe me, that wouldn't be my major in college. I was not very good at it in the one try. A lot easier to look at than to play.
I was a little surprised. I thought we had a really nice crowd today. I thought maybe a little bit of the cold that we had this morning would scare some folks away. But again, that's a tribute to the man, Arnold Palmer.
That's absolutely right. You talk to people in music and they say Elvis is the king. You talk to those in athletics, Arnold Palmer is the king. And today, the king gets his due on another Tuesday during Masters
Wouldn't
Week.
it be neat, Ted? He referred to the fact that he's a little worried about being on that 10th tee on Sunday afternoon. Is there any way he could do it this year, make the cut?
He played well at the Tradition. He had trouble in the final round, but the first couple of rounds of the Tradition out in Scottsdale, Arizona, the past senior event, the first senior major of the year, he played rather well. He knows the course as well or better than anybody. If the game shows up, he's certainly going to be ready. He's wowed us before, and I would never put one past him.
I think one of the thrills that I had last year, as a television guy, you stake out the parking lot over there at Augusta National, but when Nicklaus showed up and then Palmer and him saw each other on the parking lot, and Nick yelled over to Palmer, what time we meet? And we're teeing off at such and such time. And to see those two, they used to be fierce competitors early on. Now they're such great friends.
Well, and the interesting thing also is you'd say that to your pal that you've got a game with down at the municipal course. And here are two gentlemen who've become such legends in the business world, in the sporting world. Here they are saying the same thing at the National, getting together for a round of golf.
We sure hope you've enjoyed today's special Channel 12 broadcast, the unveiling of the Arnold Palmer statue, the first of the grade 8, also the turning of the first bits of soil for the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame. Ted, I don't know about you, but I've had a blast.
No doubt about that. Now it's off to the Augusta National for coverage of day 2 of the practice rounds.
That'll do it from here. We thank you again, and I'll see you at 5, 6, and 11. Also, our noon show has plenty from Augusta National. Until later in the day, good morning, everybody.
And the police, they're pushing me right. I said, excuse me.